This is Kenny at simplelivingsanity.blogspot.com, and I'm here to tell you about raised beds and how to make them affordably. Ones that are aesthetically good looking and also very inexpensive to buy with new wood. You can use reclaimed wood, that is always an option. I do recommend fir or cedar. It will hold up to the weather and resist rot. Although if you do get reclaimed wood and it's pine or something, and as long as it's not treated, it's just not going to last for a real long time, probably 2 or 3 years, but the cedar or the fir will last you probably 5+ years, as long as you don't jump on the side of the beds or a car runs into it or something. It should last. Here I have some 6-foot wood. It's an inexpensive fence board from Home Depot. It's $1.97. You could get the thick wood, but it's expensive. That's what it comes down to. For $1.97 for 6 feet, I was able to make each box for about $15. And cedar fencing 1x6x6 is what you're looking for. $1.97. Cut it in half to make the sides, or you can make a small one like I did, cutting it a little bit more. This is just a small raised bed. And aside from the boards that you use for the sides, you can also get whatever's in their bins. Usually they have like some green paint sprayed on it, and they're in those bins that you see near all the new wood. And it's usually wood that's been cut incorrectly or leftover wood from somebody else that cut it a bunch of wood, and you can buy it for cheap. I do that. It's like 41 cents for like 4 feet of wood usually. And then I just come home, use my circular saw, and cut it to 11 inches for the corners. I look for fir wood, I look for cedar wood, but sometimes it's not available. So I get whatever I see in those bins. So far it's held up pretty good. I've had a few seasons, and some of the other types of corner wood has worked just fine. And you might eventually have to replace it, but it's not really a very big deal, to be honest with you. Look inside of the garbage cans there too. This is the wood they use for the pallets that carry all the wood. It kind of binds it onto the pallet, and then it gets tossed. I use this for the corners often when they have that in stock, and I just pull it out of the garbage. More recently, they've picked up on this apparently, and now they're charging about 40 cents a board. Kind of lame, because this is just free wood they get. I just want to reclaim it and use it, but at least they're doing something with it, I assume, and it's still pretty cheap. So you can cut that down to 11 inches and put it in there. Another pointer is, if you don't have a circular saw, this wood, the newer wood, up to 2 they'll do for free, usually through the 6-foot wood things. Some nice people in there will do more than that for free. They'll cut it to size that you need. What I choose is 3 foot at the end and 6 foot at the sides. But they only do 2, and it's like 25 cents a board otherwise, so it might be worth it to just have them do it, especially if you don't have a circular saw at home. So you got the nice long one, and you got the short one. Use some galvanized screws. These are galvanized deck screws from a local Ace Hardware in the Woodstock, Portland neighborhood. And then you just screw it into the side. Real simple. Each corner. And one thing I do oftentimes is I put a brace in the middle. It's, the boards aren't real thick, so I figured additional insurance. A brace in the middle, and I have a board on the bottom that I just use galvanized screws to put right on the bottom of this. And I think that kind of helps it a little bit, because soil is heavy. But so far I've had a couple of these. Those over there, thought it was reclaimed wood. I didn't use a brace, and it seems to be holding up pretty good. Now, in terms of mulch, this is a huge pile of mulch I had out here. It's come down a lot, and most of it's sticks left over from an arborist. Look out for an arborist in your neighborhood cutting down a tree, or some tree workers cutting down a tree, and ask them, hey, where are you taking that? Because oftentimes they are looking for a place to dump it. It costs money to dump it, and you can use it as your mulch. So essentially just ask them, hey, you leave it off, give them your address. That's what I did. 2 days later, I had all these wood chips left off as a big pile, and now I spread it all over my yard, and it makes great mulch. I like it because it doesn't look too manufactured too. The stuff you buy in bags or at your local big box store or whatnot, I don't like it. It looks too like, it's all the same. Looks like it's out of a Crate and Barrel catalog or something to me. This is cool. The good thing is I think actually this was like a fir tree, because there's a lot of pine. It smells like Christmas. And that should help break down the weeds that were on top of here. I also recommend using, if you're going to put ground cloth beneath your raised beds, use cloth. Use the real good stuff. This side, I have very few weeds that came through underneath the mulch as the mulch, blew away and broke down and whatnot before I added more. But on this side, I'd use the plastic stuff. Experimented with that. This whole front area was full of grass within a season. It's worth paying extra for the cloth. I'll tell you that right off the bat. I think it costs 3 times the amount, but still, get it. It holds up, and I don't think it's as bad for the environment as well. Those are my tips on raised beds. So far, it's been 2 seasons, and all those inexpensive $1.97 boards from Home Depot have held up. And next, I'm going to make some more for up here at the strip. Enjoy the summer.